my channel. Today's video, I'm going to pick the players that will represent me in week 2. The players that are going to play for my team in week 2. I'm hoping that these players, they are going to perform very well and give me the maximum point that I need in order to rank very high in week 2. As you can see, I've not made any transfer yet because I'm trying to observe my players to know if they are good. I cannot just judge a player by a single match. I have to observe them, allow them to play more than one match, then I can now conclude about their performance and if they can be sold or I will still keep them. Now, starting from my goalkeeper, I have no other option, or I have no other keeper that is better than Alison Becker. So I'm going to use him as my goalkeeper for week 2 because they're playing against Newcastle. So there are possibilities that Newcastle may not score because they are a weaker team compared to Bournemouth they played last week. So I'm going to pick Becker as my defender. I'm going to use the 3-4-3 formation in this week too. So I'm going to pick Cucurella because they are playing against West Ham. West Ham they have a very poor team recently. I think the last time they played, they were between 3-0. So I'm going to pick Cucurella, and I believe Cucurella is going to perform very well this week, and they are going to keep a clean sheet in Chelsea. Going by the second defender, I'm going to pick Van Dijk. Van Dijk, though he did not perform very well in his last match, but I'm hoping that he's going to perform very well this week. Now I still have some players in the bench, so I'm going to pick. I have Wan-Bissaka, but Wan-Bissaka is playing against Chelsea, so there are possibilities that he may not perform very well because definitely Chelsea is going to score against West Ham. So I will just have to remove him because he may not perform very well as expected. So I'm going to substitute him and I'm going to add Alex Moreno. Alex Moreno is playing against Brentford, and Brentford is a very weak team. From their last performance, their defense and their attacking tactics were very poor. So I'm going to pick Alex Moreno to which Aston Villa to replace Wan-Bissaka. So I'm going to Aston Villa they have a very strong team and they have very strong attacking and defensive players. So you can hardly score them. So I'm going to pick him over Wan-Bissaka in game week 2. Now, like I said, I'm playing a 3-4-3 formation. So the least person I'm going to remove from my defense line is Van der Ven. Van der Ven is playing against Man City, and Man City, they are in form currently. So there are possibilities that Man City may likely score, although playing Tottenham is very difficult when it comes to the match between Tottenham and Man City. Man City, they are very strong opponents of Man City. So the game is really going to be a tough game, but I will still have to bench him to be on the safer side. So what I have to do, I will have to replace the defender with a midfielder to make it a 4-3-4 formation. Now, as you can see on my bench, I have Declan Rice, Dewsbury Hall. Both of them are midfielders, but Dewsbury Hall has not been performing very well recently. In his last match, he didn't perform very well, and Declan Rice performed excellently well in his last match. So there are possibilities that he's going to perform very well since he's playing against Leeds United. so he's definitely going to perform very well. So I'm going to replace Van der Ven with Declan Rice to make my formation 4-3-4. So whenever you are playing a three-man backline, what you have to do is just to replace one of the defenders with a midfielder. If you are choosing a midfielder if you are playing 4-3-4, you have to just replace your defender with your midfielder. Or if you are playing four attackers, which I don't think is possible, you can play 4-3-4, 4-3-4-3. You can play 4-4-2. You can play different, depending on, you can play 4-5-1 depending on the formation, but I don't think you can play 4 attackers. So I'm going to replace Van der Ven with Declan Rice to make my back line to be 3. So if I add it here, I'm going to have Declan Rice coming in into my midfield position. So I'm having a 3-4-3 formation. So in my midfield, I have Declan Rice, I have Mohamed Salah, and I have Baleba and Palmer. I'm considering selling Baleba because he has not been performing very well, but I'll have to hold on after this game to see how well he will perform in week game 2. Now going to my forward, my attacking position, I have no other person in my bench, so I'm going to play Wood, Gyökeres and João Pedro. I thought about transferring João Pedro and getting a more good striker, but I have to give him another chance for him to be able to prove himself before I can be able to make any further changes to my team. So I'm playing 4-3-4-3 formation, 3 backline, 4 midfielder and 3 attackers. So I'm hoping this week I'm going to make a lot of points. I'm going to get a lot of points because of this my team, because I definitely believe that Alisson Becker is going to keep a clean sheet, Chelsea is going to keep a clean sheet, Liverpool is going to keep a clean sheet, and Aston Villa is going to keep a clean sheet. So then I also believe that Rice is going to perform very well. Our Salah is likely to score, and Kopama is likely to perform very well. The forward position, I also believe that though Nottingham Forest is playing against Crystal Palace, a very strong team. They drew with Chelsea, but I still believe that Wood can be able to perform very well on that day. I also believe Gyökeres is going to score, because the reason why he did not score last time was probably because that was his first match and it was against Manchester United, which is a very big team. So I believe him playing this lower team is definitely going to score. And I also believe João Pedro, he did not get enough chances in his previous match. So I believe this match is going to get a lot of chances. Kopama is going to create a lot of chances from him and he's going to definitely score. So these are my team selection for game week 2. Now in choice of captain, my last game, the last selection I did, I made a terrible mistake. I gave the captaincy band to Van Dijk instead of giving it to a more striker, a more proficient striker that will score or that will perform better. Proficient striker. So I'm going to take the captaincy band from Van Dijk. I'm going to give it to somebody that I know that will perform very well. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to click on Salah, and I'm going to give him the captaincy band, Salah. Then the vice captain, I'm considering giving it to Declan Rice or Kopama, but since Kopama has the captain band already, so I'm just going to leave the captaincy band to Kopama, hoping that he will perform very well during the second game. These are my selection. If you have your team, if you have similar team or similar players like me, you can also model your selection like this, or add one or two players to make your team very strong and ready to give you maximum points on game 2. So if you think there are players that I added to my squad that are not okay, I would like to hear your thoughts, or to give me your thoughts on the comment section. Thank you very much, and I will see you after game 2.